A very good morning to you watching the Channel M Breakfast Show on Friday, the 13th of March. I'm Nikki Dean.
I'm Byron Evans, and we've been talking throughout this morning's breakfast show about the myths surrounding Friday the 13th, the reason people get a bit twitchy on this day of the year. And it made us think. We did a bit of research finding out famous people who were born on this day, trying to dispel some of these unnecessary kind of worries and anxieties towards the day. But then it kind of confirmed our doubts, really, our worries. Fidel Castro was born on this day, so was Butch Cassidy. And, get this, so were the Olsen twins.
There's nothing wrong with the Olsen twins, they're multi-talented.
Come on, if they're not enough to put the fear of God in you, goodness knows what else will.
Well, Byron, you've just managed to completely frighten 25% of the UK population who are believed to have some sorts of superstitions around Friday the 13th. And we've had a double whammy already this year. We had one last month, we've got one this month. And did you know any month that starts on a Sunday is guaranteed to have a Friday the 13th in it?
Just confirm your most worrying concerns about Friday the 13th. Ringo Starr released Rack My Brain on Friday the 13th, 1986.
Don't know that one.
Says it all, really. Says it all.
Indeed.
In a few minutes, all the latest sports headlines with Mike Bradley, and we're hearing about the runners and riders at the Cheltenham Gold Cup, which takes place today, from Mark Pearson from Betfred and 8:45. How to combat insomnia. Plus, Gemma Gofton is coming in on the show to show off her T-shirt customised designs that her and Jerry off the telly here on Channel M have been fiddling away with.
They certainly have. She's such a show-off, that Gofton. We'll be chatting to her a bit later on. But first, here's James with the latest news headlines.
Good morning. These are the headlines you're waking up to this Friday. More than 2/5 of people arrested for violence here in Greater Manchester have taken cocaine or crack. 1,000 people who were questioned over assaults and woundings have been studied. More research will now be done to see what other crimes the drug may have a link to. One of Greater Manchester's top police officers is being investigated over allegations he withheld certain information from court relating to a case 8 years ago. Excuse me. Detective Superintendent Steve Hassell's been put on restricted duties after a review into the jailing of Patrick Zengaya, who's now likely to be released. He's always said he didn't use other people's credit cards to pay for a car to be sent from England to South Africa. He's currently serving a sentence for fraud. It's claimed 50 jobs could soon go at Manchester's oldest department store. House of Fraser, formerly Kendall's, is the latest shop to be hit by the recession. Several high-profile members of staff could go, including General Manager Jeff Johnson. We understand some workers who've been there for more than 30 years have already been let go. Some key staff were also reportedly told they had to reapply for their own jobs. Bosses are refusing to comment. A man from Stockport's due in court later, charged with blackmailing a Premier League footballer. The star, who's not been named, contacted police in January about an iPod which had been found in the changing room of a clothing store. Paul Smith from Heaton Mersey will appear before magistrates in Manchester. The former head of a top Manchester school says unruly children should be sent to Borstal. Outspoken teacher Stephen Patriarca, who stood down from William Hume Grammar last year, is accusing the government of pandering to the needs of disruptive pupils. He says there are some that are on the verge of being young criminals and tough love is needed to help them. The funeral takes place later of a police officer shot dead earlier this week in Northern Ireland. The Continuity IRA says it shot Constable Stephen Carroll in County Armagh. Police have been given till Tuesday to question 2 people arrested over his murder. Now, the weekend's nearly here, so how do you like the sound of free beer and possibly a trip to a brewery in the Czech Republic? Well, as part of a festival, the Woodside pub in Worsley's looking for a chief ale reviewer to sample 2 different brews each week. So are you up to the job? Ben Bland's been to find out exactly what they're looking for.
Now, if you thought describing drinks was all flowery language and exaggerated descriptions, think again. Here to tell us exactly how it's done is Dave Hallows from the Campaign for Real Ale. Dave, tell us, what have you got there and how would you describe it if you're in this competition?
Well, this is Sharpston Bar. It's a West Country bitter. It's got a mild taste and then a bitter aftertaste.
OK, well, I can see you're not giving away too much there because people at home might be making notes. That's exactly the kind of thing they'd be expecting from a chief reviewer of real ales. Now, this competition is happening across 8 pubs in the northwest. Stuart is the landlord here at the Woodside. Stuart, tell us a little bit more about this festival.
Yes, our local winner will be asked to come back over 6 weeks and sample 6 real ales. If they're lucky enough to win that, to go on to a regional final, and to win that, the national final, and should they be lucky enough to win that, an all-expenses trip awaits them to the Czech Republic and the Budvar Brewery.
Well, there we have it. Free beer potentially for 6 weeks and possibly a holiday to the Czech Republic. So what are you waiting for? Get those reviews sent in.
That's all from me for this morning. I'll be back with the Channel M lunchtime news from 12 noon. And don't forget, Andy Crane's here from 5 o'clock tonight with all the latest from across Greater Manchester. Now, though, the sport with Byron and Mike.
Well, it's been a fantastic week for European football here in Manchester, culminating in City's performance at the Eastland Stadium last night. 2-0 was the scoreline against AA Aalborg, and great result.
Great result, and City virtually through to the quarter-finals of the UEFA Cup. Hopefully we'll be bringing another trophy back to Manchester at the end of the season. The great Manchester football shows. Ian Irving was at the game, and afterwards he caught up with Shay Given and Pablo Zabaleta.
We had some good chances, we played some good stuff tonight, but on the flip side, we didn't want to get too carried away and go out attack and leave the back door open, so it was important that we kept it tight at the back, and I think we got the players to cause them some problems over there as well, and hopefully get an away goal.
How confident are you of getting the result over there?
Yeah, we've got to be confident after the first leg, but they'll be thinking the tie's not over yet. It's only half time, as people say, and but we're delighted to say haven't got an away goal, and we can look forward to next week.
You've played in the UEFA Cup final yourself.
Yeah.
Do you think the team is good enough to go all the way?
Yeah, it's difficult. We have the opportunity to pass the next round, so it's a good result. It's a good result for us. I played in the season 0-5, 0-6 with Espanyol in Glasgow. We lost with submission penalty, so it's very important for the club can play the final cup this season.
But the question is, can Manchester City replicate that performance as they take on Chelsea at the weekend? And what kind of reception do you think Wayne Bridge will get at the Bridge?
I think Wayne Bridge will be booed from the moment he steps foot off the coach, but I think that will inspire him to his best performance for Manchester City. Does he agree, though?
I know a lot about them. It's going to be a hard game, very hard game. We've done well against some big teams, so hopefully we can do well on Sunday and get at least a draw.
You see a lot of changes from the Chelsea side that you left at the start of the season to the Chelsea side now under Hiddink.
I don't know, I've not watched them too much. Obviously watched the game the other night, but they're dangerous, especially the front players in the midfield. They can be very dangerous, and they attack well. But the team we've got here, we're capable of doing well against them, and hopefully we can nick a win.
So moving away from the battle down at Stamford Bridge to a big fight taking place here in Manchester at the MEN Arena. Marco Antonio Barrera up against Bolton's Amir Khan. There can be only one winner, Mike Bradley.
There can be only one winner. And guess who we spoke to try and pick his brains? The world-famous big fight promoter, Don King.
I can't say enough good things about Amir Khan. I can't forget when we were in Welsh, wherever we were. And little Amir was just starting out. He was going with all of his moves. I said, he's a young Sugar Ray Robinson. And it was just a thrill to see this type of resurrection of talent and skill and ability. So I still feel the same way. He got derailed somewhere on the line, but he tried to come back. But not this time. After we roll away the stone from the presentation that you just made with my Iho. You roll away the stone, to bring him back from the dead, because you say how old he was, and and he's finished, and then Frank said there wasn't no gas in the tank. We should have an obituary. So now you're going for it to be the shock of your life. All the spirits of all the great Mexicans is hovering over this young man. Pancho Villa, Emiliano Zapata, Hidalgo, Benito Juarez. All of them are there saying, go out and defend Mexico. That's what he's going to do. So I'm sorry, but we're going to knock out Amir Khan.
Mike was just telling me that Don King was in Collyhurst.
Yeah, Bob Shanlon's gym on Openshaw Road, yeah. Hilarious.
Do you think that's where he picked up that jacket?
Great lad, Byron.
Or maybe he's borrowed it from our next guest, because throughout this morning's show and throughout the week, we've been talking about the Cheltenham Festival, culminating in the Gold Cup taking place today. So we want to know about the runners and riders. Well, joining us is tipster from Betfred, Mr. Mark Pearson. Morning, Mark.
Thanks very much, chaps. Thanks for having me on. I'm a bit disappointed Nikki's not on the sofa, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Why have I got to talk to you two fellas?
Just be men know about sport.
Oh, Mike.
Right, well, let's talk about the Cheltenham Gold Cup.
Yeah.
Now, it's the second biggest betting race of the year. Obviously, the Grand National's the biggest, but now the Gold Cup's the second biggest. Now, we've got a warm favourite, Cato Star. Now, some bookmakers are going 7-4, 2-1. We're going 9-4. We're currently the joint biggest price. Fred, my boss, reckons Cato's going to get turned over. So we're taking loads of cash on it. The phone's not stopped ringing this morning, and we want this favourite turned over. So, if you want to look down the list, look for a bit of value. You've got Exotic Dancer at 8-1. The Champ, A&P McCoy's on that. I think that's got a really good each-way chance. Or, you've got a very interesting story in Barbershop. Now, Barbershop is the Queen's horse. Never had a winner at the Cheltenham Gold Cup. And she is going today as well to give Cheltenham even more pizzazz. Cheltenham is absolutely fantastic. It's the best race meeting I've ever been. The atmosphere is superb. The horses get a roar as well. Yeah. You know, it's proper horse racing fans, and the Cheltenham Gold Cup is absolutely superb. So we're taking on the favourite today. We want to see it get beat. Now, for some people, Cato Star is a banker. We can't trust bankers anymore, can you?
No, you can't, Mr. Pearson. What are the conditions going to be like at the festival? The
conditions, quite a bit of Guinness, and the bookies are going to be having a lot of champagne when this favour gets turned over.
I was actually talking about the course.
The course, it's just riding sort of good to soft. There's not been as much rain as I thought, so it's perfect jumping ground. It's absolutely perfect jumping ground, and it should be a fantastic race. And I tell you what, do you reckon you know about horse racing, fellas?
Oh, we know everything about all sports, don't we, Byron?
Yeah.
Right. I've spoken to Fred this morning.
Yeah.
He has said he can give you two a charity bet for the 5-star scanner appeal at the new Children's Hospital. So, fellas, I'm going to give you £100 each, charity bet. What are you sticking it on?
£100 each?
On the Gold Cup?
Yes, on the Gold Cup. I'll give you a separate charity bet on the boxing, seeing you reckon you know about boxing.
All right. For the Gold Cup, I'll go for Air Force One because it's topical with the new president in America.
OK, I'd go each way at 20-1,
Absolutely.
Isn't it?
Can I split my £100 50 between me and 50 with Nikki?
OK,
let's do that.
What are you doing? Are you going to bet on what colour the Queen's turning up in?
No.
Pink, maybe? 4-1?
Listen, it's how it is, honestly.
Yeah, I tell you what, if she turns up in the same colours as Barber's Shop, which is like purple, gold and red sleeves, that's a 100-1 shot with Bet for
I'll take Barber's Shop and Nikki will take Exotic Dancer. So we'll both go for those.
What a mix.
Hey, that's what she used to do formerly before she came here as John Left Breakfast.
Well, I'd say what we'll do, I'll let you back them both each way as well.
Pancho, we're running out of time, but a quick rundown of, for example, Manchester United, Liverpool at the weekend, Antonio Barrera and Amir Khan.
Look, it's a fantastic bet in 2 days. We've got the Gold Cup, it's absolutely huge. We've obviously got United, Liverpool, United favourites. If United win everything, which it could do, it's going to cost Fred a fortune. But Fred will do the conga with United fans in Rome at Wembley if United win everything. And at the moment, I can't see him. I think we're going to do it. I can't see him losing. I think we're going to do it. And very quickly, someone could pick up an extra 100 grand today if they pick 5 winners in a Betfred shop on Cheltenham. We're giving money away because we've made that much by turning over the favourites.
Give money away.
No.
Ever.
We've made money this week by turning over the favourites.
Yeah,
so we want to give some cash back to the punters.
We are way out of time, way over. Quickly, though, Amir Khan, Barrera.
Amir Khan, slight favourite, 4-5. Barrera is evens. Not a penny on going to points. Not an absolute penny going to points. I was just having a look this morning. Probably the biggest liability for us at the moment is Khan round 5, which is a 25-1 shot. I think it's going to be a cracker. And well played Khan for taking his fight on, I think.
Absolutely, but he'll be regretting it on Monday morning. Barrera in round 6.
Well, we'll see. And well played, Mr. Pearson, for joining us on The Breakfast Show this morning. Thanks very much for coming on. Time now for a break. Coming next, how to combat insomnia. Plus, Gemma Gofton is coming in to show us off her brand spanking new T-shirt. It's not all that.